Okay, what we have here is the Olympus 14 to 54mm f2.8 lens. That's a pretty nice lens. f2.8 is the maximum aperture. That's pretty wide. It's going to give you a lot of leeway for taking photographs in all different situations. It's a very fast lens. A very fast lens to use on a camera as well. I've been using it with an Olympus E330 camera, one of the best live view cameras that was available at the time. Still, I think pretty nifty with the screen that swivels down. You can't beat it for shooting low, say if you're rolling around in the mud. But back to the lens, it's pretty much in mint condition. I've got a filter on it at the moment, so I'm going to give that filter a clean in a minute. Actually, give it a bit of wipe. There's got a 60mm filter there with it, a nice Hoya one. There is the actual lens itself. I'll just give it a bit of a blow and I've got this special fine duster here. I just try and show you how good that is. There's a little dot I can see here on my screen that is actually on the video camera, but that's the beast there. I mean, that's pretty perfect. I'm going to put the filter on again now. Just give it a little dust. You've got to look after these things. You look after them and they'll look after you. Going to put that on now. Make sure it's protected. I can't stress enough how important it is to always protect your lens, you know, especially a decent one like this. I mean, for the sake of a filter, if you just happen to catch that, you'd have a nasty scratch or something on the front. As you can see, I have kept it in mint condition. It's not been overused. Let me see any more information on the side. Olympus, Zuiko, or Zuiko if you like, digital, 14 to 50mm, 2.8 to 3.5, so 2.8 at the widest end, 3.5 telephoto. Excellent lens, should fit any 4/3 camera. So you're looking at Panasonic, Olympus, Leica. I can't actually remember if Sony did 4/3. I seem to have an inkling that they did, but I mainly associate it with Olympus and then the Panasonic Leica cameras. And this 14 to 54, very popular lens. It was actually sold as a kit lens with the Olympus E1, which at the time was their flagship professional camera, likely to be superseded by the E3. Probably another one now. I've not kept up on Olympus, so I think there's another one, probably an E5, but the E1 was very popular camera, and they did actually use one of these lenses as a kit lens for it, because like the camera, the lens is actually splash proof and dust proof. And I've seen guys, you know, professional guys using them in places like snow and deserts. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to want to go out to places, you know, and shoot in such extreme conditions, but the pictures do bear up. I've seen some Olympus calendar pictures you've taken with this, and they're very nice. I'll probably find some to show you later on. But it's not too heavy. It's going to be slightly heavy, isn't it? Because it's a lens, solid lump of glass. But yeah, you can't go wrong really with one of these. They're very, very sharp, you know, for a standard lens. Of course, you've got that wonderful f2.8 widest opening, giving you lots of choice, especially these days with the high ISOs as well. I mean, be a good lens actually for shooting bands, probably, stuff like that. Very good optics. One of the things that I've seen it's famous for is you can shoot actually, you know, into quite bright sunlight and not suffer too much lens flare. That's a good sign of quality optics, and a lot of professionals who Olympus users would have used this kind of lens. 28mm equivalent at the widest, gives you quite a nice wide angle. You know, it's quite wide. So it's an ideal all-round lens, and the 54, I suppose, you know, that's going to give you a 108, and then you've got all the steps in between. So you've got a wide landscape going to a nice portrait type length, around about 90 to 100mm equivalent for shooting portrait. So it's quite an all-round lens, and it's in excellent condition. And like my other auctions that you saw, I just sold the 9 to 18mm. I'm getting rid of a lot of camera equipment because I'm really after a Fender Signature Stratocaster guitar, and they're not cheap, so I'm selling all my camera gear to raise a bit of dough for that. And this is a prime example of a great piece of Japanese lens manufacture. Yeah, I've also got a few other things. I'm going to be selling one of my old prime lenses, a 50mm, and I used to attach that to the E330 using one of those adapter rings. So that's quite good. And so yeah, you can see the reason. Yeah, it's all good stuff, but I'm desperate for this guitar, and I'm going to keep my little Ricoh guitar, and not a Ricoh guitar. I'm going to keep my little Ricoh camera because that's quite useful, and so hence that's the reason I'm selling it. So it's all going to be packaged up very securely, you know, nicely padded out, and it's going to go special delivery. So you'll have to sign for it if you buy it, and it will be tracked and traced all the way through the Royal Mail system. So if you've got any questions, you can always drop me a question on the auction listing. Thanks for watching this video. All the best to you.